Stadium in just a moment, but there is some news to report on. Mark Feinsand of MLB.com leading the league with information on Andrew McCutchen. Mark, going back to the Steel City, celebrating a 10-year anniversary from when he won a National League MVP with the Pirates.
Yeah, Matt, Andrew McCutchen had a few teams interested, but I don't know that there was necessarily a starting job with a contender out there that he might have been looking for. And if you're not going to go for a contender, why not go home again? So McCutchen heading back to Pittsburgh on a one-year deal. Certainly a feel-good story. The Pirates fans will, as they watch some of their young guys come up, it'll be nice for them to see a guy like McCutchen come back. And I don't know if he's finishing his career there, but certainly there's a chance that he will.
Yeah, not sure if this actually leads to potentially freeing up another move, because the Brian Reynolds trade discussion is out there everywhere. Brian Reynolds is not among the ARB-eligible players that faces a deadline today. However, that deadline does exist on this Friday. Mark, tell us who it impacts and if you expect any big news to come from it.
Well, it impacts more than 200 players around the league. There's a whole lot of guys arbitration eligible. This afternoon is the deadline to get those numbers signed, settled, and delivered, or exchange figures between the teams and the players. And when the numbers are exchanged, usually that end up going to a hearing. So you can look at this list right here. You notice one thing, a lot of Brewers on this list. Adames, Burns, Woodruff, Devin Williams are among the 11, or maybe down to 10, arbitration eligible players for the Brewers. So that's going to be a big bump in salary and payroll for Milwaukee. Juan Soto made about $17 million last year. He didn't have a great year, but he's still expected to get somewhere into the $23 million, $24 million range. And Max Fried's interesting because he's going to probably, close to double his salary from, I think it was 6.8, probably up into the 13 range. But he's the one sort of core guy on the Braves that's on this list because they've locked everybody else up. The fact that Fried is going year to year and, is in this arbitration process now shows that he might not be ready to sign one of those long-term deals.
And, of course, if there's any news today on that list of star players and other players who are arbitration eligible with the deadline looming later on today, we'll have that news for you throughout the afternoon and evening on MLB Network. For now, here on Hot Stove, let's get you back out live to Tempe Diablo Stadium, where Harold and CY are joined by another special guest. Guys, take it away.
Yeah, and that special guest is Howie Kendrick. And if you were listening to the bump doesn't matter. But in this case, it really did. I was talking about Howie. Howie, first of all, thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So I was telling people through the bump, he hit that home run in the World Series. Was he really sitting on that pitch? Take me through that at-bat, because I've talked to you about this a few times.
Man,
fascinating.
That at-bat was a culmination of getting punched out by Will Harris, at our place. And when he punched me out, he screamed, and he looked at our dugout.
Oh.
And I got back to the dugout, and you can ask Joe Dillon to this day. I said, Joe, if I get another at-bat against him, if I can get it down, I'm going to get him. And that at-bat came in Game 7. And, I got to cut her down. It was an unbelievable pitch, but if I could get him down, I could do something with it. And it just happened to be the right pitch for me. And, it's funny because people ask me about that. And I said, man, I was trying to hit that ball I was thinking hit it to center field because I stay inside the ball. And if I was thinking, go to right field, it would have went foul. So the only reason it really stayed fair was because my mindset was I'm going to drive the ball through the middle of the field, even though it was a cutter, because I knew I was going to stay inside of it, and I caught it, and it just tailed it.
I love talking baseball. I love this, CY, because he sat on that. He couldn't wait. He faced him a few times and couldn't wait to get him again. The guy.
What I love about it, for everybody any ball players, I don't know what the numbers say, the analytics, any ball player who played, Howie and I came up at the exact same time in 2006.
Yep. Wow.
Literally. So any player who played in this generation of baseball, if we've always had that question, who would you want up in a big situation? Who's the best pure hitter of your generation? And Howie Kendrick has always been my guy. We would see each other at spring training, talking. Howie, give me some pointers. Man, I'm scuffling right now. You look up at the scoreboard, hitting 320. So,
I hear you.
With that being said, with the evolution of hitting, as you've seen it, move, you're with the Phillies now. Does your swing play in today's game, or you see kids
You act
still?
like y'all played in the 1920s.
Hey, it's a different game. You've seen how
Yeah, it has
it's
changed.
happening
It has
fast,
changed.
man.
It does happen fast.
Would you teach your style of hitting to today's player?
Oh, definitely, because it'll play in any era. You stay through the middle of the field, working through the zone, the ability to back the ball up, use all fields. I mean, that'll play at any time, and I feel like some guys, with the swing up air, not really caring if you swing and miss. I care, because the more traffic we can have on the bases, the more times guys put the ball in play, you make things happen. And you never know, you might hit an 18 hopper, get a hit out of it. Next thing you know, you still second. Now I'm a man in scoring position, and I got a guy to drive me in or move me over. I mean, there's so much value in playing the game the right way and understanding that, if I give up this at bat, that's going to benefit the team. You got to have team at bats, and you also you're going to have a lot of at bats for you. But what's 20 at bats that I give up for the team to help us win a ball game? I feel like some guys get away from that and don't understand that, and we don't really teach it as much anymore. Moving runners and doing the fundamentals. But when you get to the playoffs, you see guys bunting, you see them moving runners over.
See them playing to win in baseball.
Exactly, you play to win because you want to win a trophy.
I think the other thing too with the swing, guys are chasing power. But if you're chasing a good swing, the power is going to be there. Because if you have the physical size like you guys and the power, you're going to hit home runs anyway.
Yeah.
It is the consistent ability to put the ball in play that gives you a chance to really be an optimal at top level as a hitter, I think.
Well, and we talk about launch angle all the time. Launch angle is created by where you catch the ball. It's not created by me trying to create the angle. It's created by me being a little bit here early. I'm going to catch this fastball. Maybe it's inner half. I catch it a click out in front. It's gone. If I catch it a little bit deeper, it's a line drive up the middle. And like approach is something that a lot of people don't ever really talk about too. If you have a solid approach and your approach is consistent every day, and I can work on what my approach is in batting practice, now I have something I can carry over into the game, and I'm not wavering all the time.
So is this one of the reasons you're here this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
To get a chance to share this type of knowledge and talk to us about the importance of being able to share that with these young players.
I feel like it's an advantage for these guys. You saw the staff that's here this weekend. They're all established major league guys, coaches and players, World Series champions, all-stars. I mean, it's exciting to be here. I wish I was a player that could be here.
Yeah.
I didn't have the opportunity to have guys like this teach me the game. I had to learn a lot on my own, and then when I got in the pro ball, I had some really good coaches helping me along the way through the system. But the advantage that these guys have is they're going to get this information, years and years of information, and hopefully they soak it up and take it in. And I'm so happy to see so many black players being involved in this event and having events like this for young black youth and, ethnic players, because I never had this growing up. I didn't realize there were so many guys like me that were out here playing the game, and I think it's special. And people say, oh, there's not that many black players, young black players. Well, every time I go to events now, I see more and more, and it's because the Dream Series or the Breakthrough Series or Hank Aaron Invitational or what Marquise Grissom and Freeman and those guys are doing, because they're making impacts on young players. And now guys get to see guys that look like them and that know how to play the game, that had a little bit of swagger, that understood who they were. And now they can give that information to these guys and say, hey, be who you are, go play the game, but we want to give you the tools and the things you do need to play the game the right way, but also add your touch to it.
I love the fact that seeing people that look like me, that's an important part of this. We're going to let Chris talk next time when we come back a little bit further, because we got a bunch of youngsters. And the reason I'm looking at CY and you and looking down the way is we got two youngsters coming, and Jameson Jones and Justin Hart. They are massive. We be looking like